Welcome to the Blue Chair Podcast by the North American Division Children's Ministry. We are so glad you are here today. This podcast is created for children's ministry leaders, teachers, parents, and anyone who has a heart to serve children through ministry. Join Sherry Uhrig and Jerry Lopez in the Blue Chair.
Well, here we are, another episode of the Blue Chair Series podcast here at the North American Division Children's Ministries. I'm Jerry Lopez.
And I'm Sherry Uhrig, sitting in the blue chair with my black Converse tennis shoes on.
I'm wearing my black ones too. Yes, definitely. We had the red ones last time, right?
Yes, we did, because we've got a lot of things to discuss and we need to be on the run.
I like that. And Sherry, how are you doing?
Wow, let me just tell you. But before I do, Jerry, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Enjoying the summertime. It is warm. It is warm because it's summer. But
warm.
That is the season that I like. I like summertime.
I do too. Summer is the best. In fact, several weeks ago, my husband and I went to the beach, and it was just beautiful. Sitting in our little beach chairs and watching the waves come in. We just had a great time.
I got to do that. See, I'm used to having the beach close to me. Like when I lived in San Diego, it was only 15 minutes away. Take a drive over there. Puerto Rico, of course, all around the island. I lived there for a while. And then in Florida, the beach was there. But here in Maryland, I have to take a little trip to go to the beach.
You do.
It takes a couple hours.
And Jerry, we were in Portland, Oregon for so long, and the beach there is always like 60 degrees. And so it's not necessarily warm.
That's true, yeah.
But here, oh, wow, I think I might have even gotten a suntan.
That's some good stuff. Well, we've been discussing here in the Blue Chair the topic of evangelism in the summertime.
In the summertime. That's why we have our Converse tennis shoes on. But, Jerry, I do want to say that all of our discussions about summer activities and all are all couched in, if that's what you want to say, our hashtag.
Oh, I like it. Can we do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
What is it? Let's go.
Our hashtag say yes to Jesus.
Nice.
That is what we want our kids to do. And any event or any opportunity that we can take that will bring children together to learn about Jesus is the best.
Sherry, you know what? I just thought of something. I have a challenge for everyone who's listening to us and who's watching.
Oh, I love challenges.
I challenge you.
I'm very competitive.
I challenge you to teach your children the hashtag say yes to Jesus.
Absolutely.
And to see how many people you can say that to.
That's right. Wow, I love that challenge, Jerry. And so get back to us, or you can email or
email
put it
us,
in the
children,
chat on
childrenministry.com what is it? Childrenministry at nadadventist.com.
That's right. And so what is it again?
So we're going to challenge you to, as many people as you can, you're going to go like this. Hashtag say yes to Jesus. All right, and we'll see how many people
I love that.
Each
so, Jerry, that's a challenge for you and me, too.
Okay, all right.
Do
I'm going to do it. I'm going to see if I can reach 100 people.
Ooh, 100. Okay.
Wow. Maybe I got a little overambitious. I don't know. But
if you're going to do 100, then I'm going to do 101.
Then I'll do 102.
Yeah.
So we've been touching that topic of summer evangelism. The last episode we spoke on park evangelism.
Right. Love park evangelism.
And today, what are we talking about?
Today we're talking about neighborhood evangelism. And what is the definition for evangelism, child evangelism? Jerry, I found this great definition, and this is what it says. Children evangelism is sharing with a child the good news of how to receive the full forgiveness of God by entering into a personal relationship with Christ Jesus.
That's exactly it. Entering a personal
relationship. It's all about the relationship, isn't it?
That's exactly it. And neighborhood, so many things go through my mind when I think about neighborhood evangelism. But, the Bible talks a little bit about that, especially with Paul and with Peter.
I love it when Paul talks about home church.
I found one, for instance, in Acts 16:40. It tells us when they, it was talking about Paul and Silas, had come out of the prison, they went to Lydia's house, where they saw and encouraged the brothers, and then they left. So there were people gathering there at Lydia's house when Paul and Silas got there.
So do you think they called ahead of time and said, hey, is it okay if we come over?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
think
Probably
so.
not. We've kind of gotten away from just showing up at somebody's house and just saying, hey, we're just checking in on you, would like to have prayer with you. We don't need a big meal, or you don't need to clean your house, or anything like that. We need just to have people come over at any time.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when we look at Peter, for instance, right? It says in Acts 12:12, it says, when he, Peter, realized this, he went to the house of Mary, the mother of John, who is also called Mark, where there were many people gathered in prayer.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So they went
Many people.
to
A lot
Mary.
of people
Yeah.
were there.
So they went to Mary's house, and they realized the whole neighborhood was at Mary's house.
The whole neighborhood. You know what, Jerry? The whole neighborhood. That's even the children.
That's even the children.
The children were there.
They were part of it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's something important. I love that you brought that point out, that you kind of took it out and brought it to light, the children.
Yeah.
When we talk about neighborhood evangelism, when we talk about evangelism or summer activity evangelism, you and I are focusing on the children,
Right.
right? We're focusing on them and the relationship that we want them to have with Jesus.
That's right. We are, and we hope that everybody is. You know, of course, everybody is, but that may not be the case. If you are part of an evangelistic team, don't forget the children. Don't forget the children. And they're not an afterthought.
Oh.
They are the thought.
Yes.
The first
yes.
thought
Sherry, I
is
love
the
that. They are
children.
the thought.
But let's get back to neighborhood.
Yeah.
Neighborhood evangelism. Jerry, what does that mean to you? When you think about neighborhood evangelism, what does it mean to you, those of you that are watching? What does it mean?
You know, I believe, or what comes to mind right away is like a barbecue, fun, games, the hose.
Yeah, that's right. Sprinklers.
Sprinklers, laughing, you know, people in my neighborhood right there with chairs. I don't know. That's how I picture it.
That sounds like I'd want to be there. That sounds fun to me. And just that community, that closeness, that neighborliness of just
Yes.
coming together and just sharing your life with those around you.
And, you know, we've lost that, I think, here in America. We've lost that whole neighborhood coming together element in our social life. Many
Right.
people are staying inside their homes. Nobody's coming out anymore. There isn't that. And I believe that as Christians, we can spark something in our neighborhoods.
Oh, I like that. Spark something.
Spark it, you know.
Just not a fire.
Not a fire. Well, a spiritual fire, relationship fire, you know, with the neighborhood.
And
But
maybe and a fire in your barbecue. But yes,
Yes.
you're right. Spark something. So the challenge is, you have two challenges. You've given us two challenges. The challenge is to the hashtag say yes to Jesus 101 times, or getting together with your neighbors out in your front yard and just having a time together.
Exactly.
Bring your lawn chairs. But let's just talk about a little bit more intentional
Okay.
neighborhood evangelism for children. When not too long ago, my husband and I did a children's neighborhood evangelism. Boy, I said that all wrong, but we did. Neighborhood evangelism.
I got the gist of it.
And every weekend we would do something in our front yard on our driveway. And I remember this one time we did, it was getting a little bit cool because it was after Vacation Bible School time, and it was getting a little bit cool. So we had our little jackets on, but we did little bird feeders. We put peanut butter on the pine cones and rolled them in the bird seed and then hung them in the trees. And so all the kids that came and did this had these little peanut butter pine cones hanging in their front yard trees.
What a great idea. I love that.
Yes.
I love
And
that.
you know, it was so simple. We didn't share a Bible story or anything. What we did was just to nurture the relationship.
Isn't that the important part, is nurturing that relationship? Sometimes we take evangelism as we have to, you know, make sure that they accept Jesus right then and there, or that they go to church or whatever.
Right.
But it has to start with building a relationship with someone.
That's right. It does have to start with that relationship.
And with kids, it's having fun.
Right.
It's having fun. That's how you begin to build a relationship. And not only, and with their families, because you want their parents to be involved in all of this.
Absolutely, you're right. We want the parents to be there, and a lot of times the parents aren't there, and we realize that if you do a neighborhood kids club or a neighborhood evangelism, then this is giving the parents a break.
Yeah.
For, it may only be 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So don't expect that all the parents are going to be coming. There will be some parents that come, yes. And I just encourage you, if you do neighborhood evangelism, involve those parents.
Yes.
Make them a part of it, and not just on the sidelines that they're just watching.
That reminds me, you're gonna laugh at this.
Oh, good.
The first time I ever had a hot dog. Okay, was with my neighbors.
Oh, okay.
So they had a pool, a kid pool, and they invited the children from the neighborhood to come to the pool. Their kids did, right, because they had children as well. And we were in the pool. I remember we were in the pool and everything. Had a good time. It was summer, and the mom comes out and says, "Okay, guys, we're gonna eat hot dogs." And I was like, "What is a hot dog?"
Oh, you mean truly?
Truly, I
What
didn't-
is a
yeah,
hot dog?
I was introduced.
I thought you meant you had a real hot dog or something.
No, it was a hot dog to eat as a meal, and I had never had a hot dog before because, well, I grew up immigrant home, Mexicans. We had Mexican
Rice
food.
and beans
rice and beans,
tortillas.
tacos, burritos, all that stuff, right? And they said, "Come out, we're gonna have hot dogs." Like, what is that? And all of a sudden, I see this bread with weenie inside and stuff, and I was like, okay. They put ketchup and mustard, and my friends started eating it, so I saw how they did it, and I ate it.
Did you like it?
I liked it, and from then on, I went and told my mom, "We just had hot dogs," and she's like, "What?"
What's a hot
And
dog?
I said it in Spanish as well. I translate perro caliente. What? That didn't make sense to her either. But I showed her what it was, and then she started making it for us, sometime later. Not a lot, but
Yeah.
But it always brought to mind. That's in that experience with that family who invited the neighborhood kids to swim in their pool, gave us hot dogs, and it made an impact in my life. Just that simple.
So you just brought up two important points.
Mm-hmm.
Is doing an activity together, like swimming together, and eating. We do know that a lot of good conversations happen over food, and that really impacted you, was the food that was there.
Absolutely. Now, every time I think of
beautiful.
swimming, I don't know why, but I want a hot dog.
You want a hot dog?
Hot dog for that.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of it. And then we knew who this family was in our neighborhood, and who the children
That's a
were.
beautiful story.
And and so they would invite us. My parents were okay, and we'd go and swim again, and they would feed us. I mean, we were like 10 kids, and they would feed us hot dogs, and I didn't eat just one.
Well, Jerry, now to break it down, let's just say that you, the viewer, is wanting to, or the listener, to do a neighborhood evangelism. And so what do I do? What do I do? What are some of the steps that you would take?
Yeah, that's my question. Yeah.
That is, and so one of the important things, and we mentioned this last time too, is to get it on the church calendar.
Yes.
Make sure that if it is a church event, that your church has the right kind of insurance to cover off-site events.
Absolutely.
If it's not a church event, then make sure that your home insurance covers it covers you well.
Those are the little things that sometimes we need to think about. Because they're important as well. I mean, it sounds like, well, you have to have insurance, but it's just a reality of the times we live in.
It is, and and of course, the first thing you want is your children to be safe. But you never know something might happen. Somebody fall off the bicycle or something. So you do want to keep those things in mind.
Yeah.
The next thing is to decide on a date. Once you decide on your date, then go ahead and promote it. Go neighbor to neighbor. Promote it in your church too. Because it doesn't have to be just children from the neighborhood. It'd be nice to have have other kids there too.
Absolutely,
And,
because our church children need to be part of that as well.
yeah, they
And
do.
how and sometimes I don't know what you think, but what about having the children from that household, inviting some of the church friends to be the ones to like
Lead
serve
out.
or
Yeah.
serve the invitation to the neighbors.
That is a great idea. I love that because not only are the children having fun, but they're also serving others.
Yes.
And that is a huge, huge impact on our children, the compassion and the service. Yeah.
What do you think about, let's say, in this you have this, like, in your front yard or wherever, you have this neighborhood get together. Can we mix in, for instance, a very happy, joyful, good Bible story in there somehow or another? Is that a place to do that, or what would be a good idea to
That,
do?
that is a good, that's perfect. Whatever the personality of your neighborhood, your personality and the people that are helping you. Absolutely. Think of all the different fun things you can have. A good Bible story, and or a story that leads to a Bible story or leads to getting to know Jesus. Always games.
Yeah.
Games are fun, and crafts and food.
Yes,
I don't know how much you want to get into the food, because we didn't get into the food when we did ours, except for the ice cream truck.
Yeah, well, that's always fun. That's always fun for sure. So I like that. I think the main thing is not to have an agenda,
Right.
right? Not to have an agenda, but I think the agenda needs to be more about, how do I build a relationship with my neighbors?
Jerry, I'm a list person.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, not having an agenda is great. You're not there to make somebody do something.
Right.
But to have your list there is good, but also being flexible.
Yes.
Yeah, this is just a fun time in the neighborhood. But there are, maybe you're going to do it from 10 to noon or from 3 to 5. You do need to be have some parameters and boundaries there. And talking about boundaries, then what if somebody needs to use the bathroom?
Ooh,
What are you
yeah.
going to do then? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. Go to your house. I don't know.
Run home.
But that's a good question.
So that is a question that it's not a question that we're answering right here. It's we're asking you, the listener, is what would you do if you had a child that needed to use the bathroom? And you need to keep in mind the safety rules.
That's right.
Making sure there's always several adults that
Yes.
are around. And so this is something that you'll need to keep in mind. And another thing to keep in mind too is, how hot is it outside? Even if you don't provide food, which is fine, you probably should have some water there for kids that get thirsty.
Juice, lemonade.
Yeah, something,
good?
something.
I love lemonade in the summer.
Yeah.
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 Wow. So those are things that one has to think about for sure. And if you're going to be having volunteers to help you out, right? Because many times maybe you might invite a couple of people from church and say, hey, can you help me out? We're going to have this neighborhood activity. Make sure that they've gone through the background check process
Yes.
as well.
Anybody from the church? Yes.
Anytime you work with children, that needs to happen.
So, but Jerry, I just want to ask this question too, that yes, we promote that always. Our church leaders need to have their background checks done, but this is a neighborhood. I'm not going to
that's
tell my
true.
neighbor to go and have a background check, am I?
I don't think so.
Yeah. And so you just need to think smartly.
Yeah.
Just think smartly. And if the kids that are coming to your yard live close enough and they need to use the bathroom, then just go home. Come right back though. Don't forget to come back.
Unless you have like a designated bathroom that you could use that's not too deep into the house.
Right.
What do you think about that? Is that
Yeah. It's something
think
that
so.
definitely to think about, put it on your list to talk about as you're planning this.
Yeah, because
And-
oh, sorry, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Because like what we were talking about, right? Some children, they're probably gonna wait till the last minute. I gotta go to the bathroom, and
Right now.
you can't send them clear, down the
Down the
road. Hey, go to your own house. So keep that in mind. Keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
that is just
But you were
something
gonna
to
say
think about.
something. Sorry, I interrupted you.
I was just going to just ask, so what do you do for a neighborhood evangelism? And we would love to hear from you. You can put it
Yes.
into the YouTube chat or just email us.
Yeah.
Email us at childrensministries@nadadventist.org. Now, Jerry, is it children's ministries?
It's children's ministry
Oh,
at NAD. Yeah.
Okay, so children's with an S and ministry with a Y at nadadventist.org. And you can also email us because we want everybody to catch on to our movement of hashtag Say Yes to Jesus.
Yes.
Email us and ask for some stickers. You can see them right here on the back of our computers and on our water bottle. We have lots of stickers and wristbands that we would love to send to you. We just
Yes.
need to hear from you. That is all.
That's exactly what we want to do. We want to hear from you. We want to make sure that you connect with us, and we want to send a couple of goodies to you as well.
Right.
But going back to neighborhood evangelism, I think that would be so much fun just to make sure we have some kind of activity, right?
Yeah.
And again, we've lost that in society. We've lost the whole getting together, the community in our neighborhood. I think we would probably be ones to open that up again, hopefully, and make that happen and make neighborhoods a community again. Because I know there's several people who live in neighborhoods who don't know their neighbors.
Right. Yeah, it is good. That just reminded me, just a little quick story too. We had several people over at our house, and the kids were on the driveway doing chalk drawings and stuff. They were doing a chalk relay or something. And there was a family that came walking by. They were from a street over, several streets over from us. But they stopped with their kids and they were watching. I said, come join us, come join us. We didn't know who they were, but they had kids with them. And so the kids came in and they had so much fun. And we had so much fun just getting to know our neighbors.
Yeah.
Even though they were just, a couple blocks away, but they were still, we were within their walking distance. So, get to know your neighbors. Have that relationship, just as those people that you were talking about in the Bible, that they met together and they had prayer. That's because they knew each other. Mm-hmm. They knew each other. Mm-hmm. We need to know our neighbors well that when we ask them, can we pray for you? Then that'll be just a natural thing.
Absolutely. And neighborhood evangelism can be that as well, is offering that prayer. Sometimes when something's going on with your neighbors. And we're talking about children, involving them in that as well.
And families.
Absolutely.
Yes. Children being involved and families attending too.
Yes.
What a perfect time. What a perfect summer activity.
I love it. I love it, and I hope that many people do it, and I hope they take our challenge. Before, I just want to make sure that I remind everyone to make sure you like us, right? Not like us, I mean personally, but like.
Oh, you need to like us personally too.
Like our podcast, subscribe to our podcast, and share our podcast, and watch us on YouTube as well. And don't forget, you can listen to us on Podbean, which is where we're at. You can listen to us on the Apple Podcast, right?
Apple, Spotify, Amazon.
And I don't know what else.
Yeah.
But for now, that's where you can listen to us. Like I said, like us, share us, and subscribe. Hit the little subscribe button on there and the little heart button as you hear this.
And the thumbs up.
And the thumbs up. And email us as well. Let us know your comments. And we would love to read what you have to say. Sherry, we're going to, our next one for next week is going to be a live one.
Oh, I am so excited about that. And I'm excited about where we're going, another warm place. Mm-hmm. And at the Education Convention in Phoenix, Arizona. Cannot wait to talk to people about children's ministries and about the new Sabbath School curriculum.
We're going to be able to show the teachers that will be there this new curriculum, Alive in Jesus. And so we'll be at the Education Convention there in Phoenix live on the 8th. And, we're going to let you know exactly what time. I think it'll be probably about noon, I believe.
Well, you can find our booth.
Yes.
Real easy, because we will be wearing our Converse tennis shoes. and we'll have the big Alive in AIJ letters there. You can't miss us.
Oh, yeah. And what are they going to be able to do on those
Oh,
big
don't
letters?
forget, please do come see us if you're going to be there, because you're going to get to doodle on these big letters, and it's just going to be so much fun.
Oh, yes. They're going to be big letters. Doodle. Come and do it. Come and talk to us. I hope that we get a chance to talk to some of the teachers that are there as well, and just have a conversation with them about this new curriculum. It's going to be fun. And then the following podcast that we're going to have.
Before we go to the following podcast, then you can just walk down the row to our children's ministry booth. And boy, do we have some great giveaways.
Yes. We have giveaways at both of them.
We do.
So make sure you stop at the Alive in Jesus booth and then go to the Children Ministries booth, or vice versa.
Oh yeah, right.
You're going to get some good stuff. Make sure you bring an extra little suitcase.
Really good children's ministry merch. We've got it there for you. We've got you covered.
We sure do. But the last episode in this series, we're really going to touch on evangelism, how Sabbath school is evangelism, but we're going to really talk about Alive in Jesus Sabbath School program as well. We
are, and how you can use it as an outreach to your community. Yes.
It's a beautiful program. So join us. Make sure that you hit the like button, hit that little heart there. Make sure that you subscribe, hit the subscribe button.
And the thumbs up.
And the thumbs up, yes, on YouTube as well. And make sure that you share with others our podcast, our Blue Chair podcast. And so thank you very much for joining us, Sherry. I had a lot of fun. I can't wait for the next one.
I do too. I just love summer evangelism.
Yes. And again, Sherry, let's remind them of the challenge. Okay, but the challenge is that you will see how many people you can
Hashtag
say yes to Jesus.
And Jerry, I'm doing 101.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want more content like this, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
And be sure to tune in for more conversations in the Blue Chair. Until then, this is Sherry Urig.
And this is Jerry Lopez, North American Division Children's Ministries, where hashtag say yes to Jesus.